a lot of people are just kind of forgetting about things. And today we're going to talk about these things that they're forgetting about. Why are people forgetting things? Why are people losing track of the true things that they know that they need to be doing? Kind of like a person who has like a 9-to-5, who has a dream, like they want to be a painter or something, and they want to break away from whatever this job is, and they want to go and do that thing, but for some reason they just don't get around to it, and they just kind of slip away from this thing, and they kind of fall back into what they were doing. And a lot of people don't know why that's happening, but it is a part of cognitive dissonance. It's called MKULTRA, or dissociation, and it just makes you just not. It's kind of like being in the lily field on Wizard of Oz. You just kind of forget about stuff, and you're just kind of like, well, it'll be tomorrow. There's always tomorrow, and you just kind of procrastinate. So then you have jobs and you're exhausted, and you don't want to push forward to get yourself in the situation where you need to be. And and a lot of people, don't have any ambitions at all because they're so busy chasing the hamster wheel. And it's a sad thing, it's a sad thing. It's all slave bit, but let's kind of get into some of the key things that are happening today. Web Nasty TV. Now, let's look at the patterns. I'm always looking at patterns when I look at these things. We know now, with all the things that come on TV, The Simpsons, Home Run, Homer smashes the firmament, the Japanimation videos with the glass firmament, the Iron Man, Thor video where they coming down to the flat earth, fucking Thor when he's up in Asgard looking down on the flat earth. I mean, it's on and on. I mean, so many different things that came out about this year, and now people are forgetting about it. And I believe that the whole, it's becoming a fad because of what? The Flat Earth Society. When they came out with all the celebrities and all that, it was like something that it was about a trend. It became a trend. And like trends, they got old and they died out real quick. And that's exactly what the hell happened. Everybody forgot about this, and in return, everybody's going to forget about this. See what I'm saying? So it's just like a fad. So I've been doing kind of some studying of like, rockets are always being shot up. People are shooting personal rockets up now, and they hit it and it bounces off. But when it gets up here, it kind of hits it and it kind of like stays there for a minute and then it falls back. But anywho, when it gets up here, it gets black. So it's kind of like a looking glass. You see the blue from far away and the white and horizon line, which is what I'm creating here. This is the reflection of the ice ring. So it actually gets white as it gets down, which is the signification of an end. So when you're here on Earth and there's all this water between you, these are the continents here. And they're really on a land mass. It's all together around in a big ass circle, crusty kind of thing. And that water is the ocean in between it. But it has a floor. See what I'm saying? Where all of these continents are really just connected as one piece. And outside of this is the abyss. And that water is deep as deep gets. So let's take another look at a drawing of that. Alright, so here we go. As you can see, it's like in David Bowie's like Black Star video when he was like, he had the bag over his eyes, like where it's like messing up his vision or whatever, and behind him there was a circle casting of the sun coming down from the other side, from the beyond the black. So underneath that, he was also like creating imagery that was just a shed above, like there's a place above the waters or something like that, a house or a place above there, and he was putting like a shed there. It was like really interesting. I saw you should check out that Black Star David Bowie video. But anywho, the sun is what's moving, and it's going around like my diagram I drew kind of like matches the Pink Floyd drawing right here. So that spark of that white comes from somewhere up here through the black, hits the parabolic mirror of the firmament in a circle format, in a circle formation, a flat disc. And through here, the life chakras come down into this environment and they recycle. So check it out. These little dots, these little chakra alignment pieces. And apparently they come in and out like that. So when you don't have cognitive dissonance, you kind of dig deep into it. You kind of, these are the roots. You know that those giant trees have these root systems. They're really the crystal caves you see people climbing down in. They've been hollowed out. That's what those things are. And that's what's really down there. Is a bunch of hollowed out fucking crystal caves. I mean, people really need to just go digging down there them damn selves so they can just really kind of see what's really down there. But yeah, that's the ice ring, which is reflected up at the horizon. So it's like literally the end. And that tree stump, which is Rupus nigra. Look at that. There's a person reaching up, looks like. And they go up and they get up there. Through the what they call the Stargate, which would be the Northern Lights now, because it just all over the place now. But I would imagine, and I believe at the root of it, when you get the Rupus nigra, you would have to be able to see even the tiniest beam connect up to that, connect up to the top. I would believe that there would at least be the width of a human body's width, capable, to shoot up there. Very interesting. And it's got souls in and souls out. On the side here, I've seen some different, like, if you look at the levels of heaven, like you'll see like the Polaris is on the sides, right? Kind of like this diagram right here. There's two Polarises on the sides, and then there's one in the top, in the center. And the star formations, they turn, man. It's so fucking crazy in these formations. And then our Polaris, we see, when we see like Northern Lights and shit like that, it's like that. You should check it out, man. Check out those Polarises, man. They're fucking fucked up. And they do that, right? And that's how the Polaris looks. So this is not proven outer space at all. This is not. It's spinning here. It's the spinning light show here of all the zodiacs. And it never changes for your whole, since forever. And then these two here are really something. And I looked at the levels of, man. And one of these, they had like different dimensions, it says. And these different drawings I saw. Like a kingdom up here. And then it had, through these Polarises, different places. And it had a lake of fire outside of this Polaris. Like brimstone, burning fire place. And I was like, what the fuck, are you serious right now? So it's like, wow, really? And then some of the other ones talk about how there's another place underneath. The opposite, which is upside down. And then there's another one over here at this Polaris, it says. And these are like different dimensions, different dimensional planes. So when you don't have cognitive dissonance, you're really digging into this shit. And you just learn more and more because those Polarises are really there. You should really go Google Polaris, what is it? Panoramic view of the Polaris. Panoramic, all three Polarises. Look that up and you'll see, man. It's like three of them and they stretch and they connect and they rub up against each other right about there. It's super it's really fucking weird. So, anywho, could be interdimensional planes. That could be a hell, perhaps. I gotta find that image, And a lot of them are from different sources, and they kind of just connect in a weird kind of way. But I picked up on it just because, I was really observing a lot of these details. All right, so the Flat Earth Society is now a fad. Nobody cares about this shit anymore. But I'm telling you, man, real soon a lot of people are going to be going to this tree stump. And you guys are going to have a choice to go up, down, or up. and it's going to be awesome. And this is when you're still alive, because I mean, there's waters above. Clearly, this place must exist in some metaphysical form right outside of this place. Maybe it's light that's coming through the other side from the other side of the black, and maybe you need to be a different kind of person before you get up there. Maybe you need to astral travel up there. Because I know that green stuff is the source of all the energy I pull out of the ground when I meditate. Like that green, this green light here, this is what's powering the whole ground of the earth right here. You see that? That's what the chi source is, man. That green. So when I'm out there meditating, man, I'm getting all that green, dude. I'm absorbing it, and it's coming off my hands, and I feel like the sun, dude. I feel like it's just pouring out of me, that energy, that creator's light. You know what I'm saying? You really make a great connection with your surroundings that way. And see, he's got all that water outside of it, and that's the deep abyss. Right outside the landmass, which is just the landmass with continents, with oceans in between, with polarises above, and multiple directions. What the fuck? It's fucking ate up, man. It's fucking crazy. And anything that's 20,000 miles wide like this, like a big ass sky like that, anything that is that wide, that's got polarises like that, that just turn and spin like that, is a divine creation from some special person from a special place. And if there's a polaris right in the middle, and this beam is really like it is on that tree, and that northern lights really spews out of there, and we see that shit, I mean, it's all really happening. So I mean, what the fuck is there not to want to see? And why is it that it doesn't matter? And why does it matter that the earth is potentially flat? It's because, you know, hey, what's at the edge? Let's check it out. Bing. What's in the center? You know? And yeah, you start asking these questions, and then you start getting your answers met. You know, the source of that green is apparently the holiest of holies, the questions of time itself. And that's like a creation from God for us to experience and witness. Cognitive dissonance. So the next thing that's really an issue is this new straw man thing. And people have been going through a bunch of loops because they got, if you watch fruit from a poisonous tree or something like that, they have a lot of plausible deniability. We don't know what the hell you're talking about, Offset. Unless you know everything about it, then you can't be denied. But you know, they had this big PayPal thing going on, and I think that was just a setup, because they got a bunch of people getting rejected, and now they're all frustrated. And then there's a whole bunch of steps. There's like damn near a million steps to take. But you know, you want to do it, just take your time and take baby steps. Do something every day. Just go study it, make sure you know it. But don't give up on it. Keep your eyes on the prize, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, a lot of people are just getting caught up in that cognitive dissonance, that disassociation, man. They just forget about it so easily because everything else is just real flashy and entertaining, and they just kind of get lost in it. And you just kind of stay focused, stay awake.